And you are watching BBC News. I'm Anita McVeigh. We are going to continue now with our coverage of this tragic air crash in India, in Western India, the state of Gujarat, just moments after takeoff from Ahmedabad airport. It was bound for London Gatwick and had been due to arrive there after 6 p.m. local time today. So let's bring you right up to date with what we know about this. This passenger plane was, as I mentioned, en route from Ahmedabad in the west of India to London Gatwick and crashed shortly after takeoff. It was operated by Air India with a flight code AI171. India's Civil Aviation Authority says 242 passengers and crew were on board. Well, we want to show you now some footage which shows the plane, we understand, still to be verified, as it was coming down in the centre of Ahmedabad city very shortly after takeoff. Let me just tell you, actually, I've just heard that this footage has indeed been verified. I need to warn you that we are going to show the moment of impact and the explosion. And these pictures showing that huge fireball as the plane crashed just moments after takeoff. The Air India plane losing altitude. It was supposed to be taking off. It was supposed to be climbing, gaining altitude. But if you look at that video, you can clearly see that is not what happens. And it is quite low above those buildings before disappearing from view in that social media footage, and that large fireball after it goes out of view. Our reporter Roxy Gagdekar is at the crash site, and I spoke to him a short time ago.
So the plane crashed in an area called the New Mental Campus. It is also known as the Inspector General Campus. This plane crashed on a building where the doctors, this residential doctors, were living. It is feared that more than very large number of doctors were there at their house when this plane crashed. So right now we don't know anything about how many people were there in the building when plane crashed. But certainly when we talk to the people over here, the eyewitnesses and the people living around, they said that this was a building where the intern doctor working in the nearby Ahmedabad Civil Hospital used to live here. So the damage, it seems, to the people living in that building is big.
And are fires still burning in that area, or have fire crews managed to bring those under control?
Yes, the fire are still, as you can hear the sound of the fire vehicles, this firefighting vehicles, they are constantly moving from one place to other. They are trying to, those of the fire since last 2 hours, but still the fire is going on. We saw some bulldozers being bought right now to remove the scrap so that the people who have died in this accident, their bodies can be taken out because with the help of this bulldozer. The scrap, it seems, is very large in amount because some walls, trees, and other structure has fallen down because of this crash. Media is not allowed to go near the site right now, but when we reached here, we saw that even the wing of a plane was kept after the crash. The wing of the plane was kept. We were able to see that wing on the road over here.
Roxy, we've been reporting that the plane crashed just beyond the airport perimeter. Give us a sense, if you would, of the geography of this area. How populated is it? How close is the point where you're standing to the actual airport and to the runways?
So we are at the one side of the runway. This is the Meghani Nagar area. This Meghani Nagar area is very it's a densely populated area. Many residential houses are here. The site of the accident, the place where plane crashed. Even a multi-story residential building is very near to that place. The site of the accident right now is a place where the government officials, especially the medical staff, were living. The entire area is very densely populated. It's when we talk to some people, there were some people living in huts near the main gate of the campus, and even those people, the houses which were there, even those people might have died. That's what the local residents fear. So, the area is quite densely populated, and the number of deaths because of this crash of the people living in the area is yet to be identified.
And from where you're standing, Roxy, approximately how far is it to the place where the plane crashed?
So it's hardly 200 meters away from the place where I am standing right now. This road which you can see here, this road to the site of the accident, and uh, the firefighting vehicles are right now kept over there, and even it has been also said that the chief minister, the government head of the Gujarat state, he is likely to visit this place very soon.
And in terms of what's happening inside the airport, Roxy, and what the authorities there are saying, bring us up to date.
So the authorities, we are yet to hear about the exact numbers of not deaths, but the total number of passengers in the plane were 242. That's what the authorities have said, and right now we don't know how many people have been saved out of this, but most of the people, what we see over here from the location, have died in the crash.
And we can only imagine that there must be some incredibly worried, distraught relatives gathering at the airport for news.
Not exactly at the airport, but there's a hospital, this Ahmedabad Civil Hospital. Most of the bodies which were taken out from the crash site are taken to the government hospital, and many people, relatives, and other people are there at the hospital right now. And there is a chaos, of course, because people are trying to to know what is happening with their relatives and whether their relatives are alive or not. People want to know. Government a special setup has been made by the authorities to give them information, but right now the exact information is yet to receive even to the relatives of the passengers who were traveling.
Roxy, as you talk to us, we're showing our audience images of part of the aircraft in a building. So part of the aircraft has ended up in this building, which is obviously very badly damaged. It just really brings it home, this image of the density of the area and how this all unfolded, with the aircraft crashing only moments after takeoff, not really getting any altitude, unable to clear this urban area. Can you hear me, Roxy?
Yeah, it is difficult to clear this urban area because... Yes. Can you repeat the question? Sorry, I was not able to hear you.
It was more an observation, Roxy, that as we look at these images of part of the aircraft lodged in a building, it really emphasises, doesn't it, how devastating this is, the plane coming down as it did within this residential area.
Yeah, we talked to the witnesses. I was able to talk to some people who actually heard the loud sound. They say that it was almost like a thunderstorm, and a huge thunderstorm. They hear the sound and immediately they saw huge smoke. And after that, some people even tried to go near and see. But as soon as one eyewitness, when he talked to us, he said that he saw a plane first crashing to the building, and then it's one of its wing just broke away from the plane and hit to the tree nearby. And when the eyewitness saw that wing fallen on the road, he tried to save himself and he ran away from there. But he definitely said that the crash and the scene was very dangerous, and he was not able to what to do and how to save the people, because the damage and the crash and even the sound and the smoke was so large that people here in this densely populated area, they were scared enough to not to do anything, and they started calling to the authorities. Within 15 to 20 minutes, the fire rescue vehicles, they came and they started the rescue operation. That's what most of the eyewitnesses who were present here, they told us.
Yeah, what a horrific scene for rescuers to go to, and yet we've also seen reports of civilians rushing to the area as well to see if they could help. How many? You mentioned hospitals earlier, Roxy. How many hospitals are involved in this operation, looking after people who may have been injured on the ground and trying to treat them?
So right now, uh, from the information what we have right now, what we know right now is the most of the people, they are taken. Most of the bodies that were taken out are taken to the Ahmedabad Civil Hospital. It is considered as Asia's largest hospital. They have been taken there, and right now, all the we don't know how many people were saved and how many people are being treated right now. But as soon as but the treatment and the entire setup is right now there at the civil hospital, and uh, most of the people over there, the administration is there right now taking care of the people, the relatives of the people who were there in the plane.
Roxy, I don't know if you've heard any aircraft, but we have just heard from India's aviation ministry that flights at Ahmedabad airport have resumed. The ministry says flight safety protocols are being followed with utmost care. So I'm not sure if you can, if you've been able to hear any flights taking off or indeed landing.
Well, right now at this stage, we're not able to say anything on this on this. How many? How has this crash has actually impacted the overall aviation traffic? It's difficult to say at this stage, but I'm sure we'll be able to tell you in some time.
Give our audience a sense of how busy this airport normally is, Roxy.
So Ahmedabad Airport is Ahmedabad is a western city. It's one of the biggest city in the western part of the country, and it is connected to almost all parts of the world. This specific flight was flying to London. There are flights to London, America, Canada, and other parts in the Western world, as well as other parts of the world. So it remains very busy airport. It has two terminals, a domestic terminal as well as an international terminal. Domestic airport, Ahmedabad domestic airport is connected to almost all the cities of India, and the international domestic also. It is called the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport. This airport is one of the busiest airport in the western part, especially in the Gujarat state of India.
And we've had a brief statement, haven't we, from Narendra Modi, the Indian Prime Minister. Gujarat is his home state. Tell us more about the reaction there, the political reaction that you've been hearing.
So right now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also said about, has given his condolences message for this crash, and the Chief Minister of Gujarat State, Bhupendra Bhai Patel, he is about to visit here, and he will ensure that the rescue operation right now, which is going on, would take part, would be at would happen properly. And along with that, I saw some political leaders over here. They also visited this place, and they tried to ensure that there is no fault in the rescue operation. So the political leaders over here, the state political leaders, they have tried to oversee the rescue operation over here.
We can see people gathered behind you. I'm sure everyone there really in a state of shock at what has happened in their community. Tell us more about what they have been saying to you, Roxy.
So the people over here, the residents, they were first of all, they were not able to understand initially when they hear the huge sound. They were not able to understand what has happened. But when they came out of their houses, they saw big black smokes around that campus, and they tried to go there and see. And they saw that there was huge fire. When we talked to many people over there, they were not able to understand what to do initially, but some of them did call to the cops, did call to the ambulances and the fire emergency services, and that's how the help came. But at the same time, because there are many numbers of people who are coming here to see what has happened over here, the cops over here, the police over here are also trying to manage the traffic, because most of the roads around this site are being closed right now, and it is very difficult because this part of Ahmedabad has remains very busy during the day. So the police are also trying to manage the traffic over here. People over here, they still want to know what has exactly happened inside, because they were the first one to see the smokes, the fire. But later on, they were told to move away from the spot, and they are still now trying to keep a watch on what is happening around.
So many questions there, as Roxy was reflecting when he spoke to us a little earlier, not just for the community there in Ahmedabad, but for friends and relatives around the world. Roxy was standing just a couple of 100 metres from where the plane came down in that residential area just beyond the perimeter of the airport. And we want to show you some footage now which shows the plane as it was coming down in the centre of Ahmedabad city very shortly after takeoff. And I need to warn you that we are going to show the moment of impact and the explosion. We have verified this footage. And that footage consistent with what we know so far. You could see that the plane was losing altitude above buildings before disappearing from view in that footage from social media. And immediately after it goes out of view, there is a huge fireball. Well, in the last hour, the Indian Ministry of External Affairs has been holding a news conference. They addressed the crash in Ahmedabad. Let's take a listen to some of what was said.
What has happened in Ahmedabad is a very tragic accident. We have lost a lot of people. We extend our deepest condolences to all those who have lost their loved ones. There are, I understand, several foreigners also. Those updates you will receive from the relevant departments, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Air India, and others. They are putting out something, I guess, soon. That's the latest that I can share. It's still an evolving situation. Rescue operations are on, so you'll have to wait a little more time for exact details to be put out. But you would have seen, that everybody is concerned, and we once again convey our deepest condolences to all the families who have lost their loved ones.
That was the Indian Ministry of External Affairs, according to the City Police Commissioner in Ahmedabad, who's been telling the news agency AP there appear to be no survivors from the airliner that crashed. Obviously, we're waiting to find out more about the extent of injuries on the ground in the residential area in which the plane came down. But we do know that some people have been taken away to be treated in hospital. We can bring you some live pictures now coming to us from Ahmedabad. And what we are showing is this residential area affected by the crash, badly charred buildings, trees. We know that rescuers were here, emergency services were here very, very quickly after the crash, just on the the perimeter, the outskirts of the airport. We have reports from this area about a doctor's hostel being hit by the plane as it came down. A number of doctors pulled from the hostel, and the map showing you the location of Ahmedabad in the western state of Gujarat, and the airport there from which the plane took off earlier today, but just less than a minute into its flight,